And welcome back to another Creator Cast. We are taking a break from our main channels to bring you another little collaboration. I'm joined here with the beautiful Danny Black. How you going, mate?
Hey, how you doing? The beautiful.
Yeah, very
I like
good.
that.
Yeah, I thought I would give you a little confident boost. On that.
Thanks. I needed that today.
Yeah. All right. So joining us today is Mr. Dave Lee Down Under. Dave, reveal yourself.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello. How are we?
Good.
Yeah, good.
Mate. Good. It's great to
Good.
finally be able to chat to you one on one because we've been talking over the power of the internet for a while.
Yes. Facebook, comment section on YouTube, all that stuff. Yeah. Good to chat to you too.
Yeah, everything's going great, mate. By the way, this is Mr. Danny Black.
Hey, nice to meet you.
How you going, Danny? You
Yeah,
too?
Just came over and subbed to your channel. I'm looking forward to it. This is you have a cool channel, man. I like it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. I've been watching your guys' videos too. I've been enjoying what I've seen in preparation for this. So you're doing some good stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Excellent.
Yeah, just all right. So we'll start off. Give the viewers a little, a brief insight into your channel.
Okay, I run a pop culture kind of vlog these days, movie reviews, entertainment vlogs, just all that kind of stuff, collectible videos and all that kind of stuff, I suppose. All kinds of movies, but I've got a big soft spot for the movies from the Walt Disney Company and Star Wars and Marvel and just a bit of geek pop culture stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's super fascinating. You can probably see all the little knickknacks in the background in Dave's background there.
Oh, look at
A few
that.
little things there.
I honestly spend half the time, because where you're sitting right now is where you film most of your videos. I honestly spend half the time looking in the background at all your new stuff. That's just my ADD.
There's always a couple of new little bits and pieces there. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, all right, you had a change of name. We've talked about before about rebranding. You had a rebranding. Talk us through that. Yeah.
Okay, so my channel's original name was Disney Dave Down Under, and basically I've been trying to get into YouTube, try to do what I'm doing now for a very long time. I had a television show on local community TV. Gosh, how long ago now? 2011 to 2013, I think. Through that, I was able to make a lot of, industry contacts. And the one contact that followed with me for the entire time was Disney. And I have a pretty good relationship with the people over at Disney in Australia here. And I struggled with trying to do movie reviews on YouTube after I came off the back of my television series. Had no followers. I was doing really crap reviews. But the one thing that always got good views was reviews for Disney stuff. So Marvel stuff, Star Wars, whatever. So one day I had a little spark that was, okay, I've got this industry contact with Disney, so I have, I was, through the contact, you get invited to media premiere screenings and stuff, so you get to see the movies a couple of days early, sometimes a couple of weeks early. So I figured, I've got that contact, I love Disney, I've got a lot of Disney crap around the house, I'm a big Disney collector, and I'm a big fan of the history of the Walt Disney Company as well. So my idea was, let's try and crack into this, I guess, little niche market, which is a Disney Channel. And I'd seen there's a lot of Disney channels coming out of the US that are quite popular, and I thought, well, there's nothing coming out of our side of the pond, so why not try crack at that? But always in the back of my mind was the idea to do just a channel where I'm reviewing movies, I'm talking about movies, because though I do love Disney and I love the movies of the Walt Disney Company, my main passion is for films and all kinds of cinema. And I love movies from the 1920s and the 40s, 50s, all the way up to today. So I have I have a huge love for just cinema in general. And that was always at the back of my mind, was one day I just want to do a channel where I'm just talking about movies. And I guess Disney Dave Down Under was the way to kind of build myself a channel on the back of a niche market with the hope of one day maybe being able to go, all right, let's rebrand and just talk about movies. So I guess in a way it was kind of a gimmick. I wouldn't really like to call it a gimmick because I built a fairly decent subscriber base off that. I think it was up to maybe 2,500 subscribers when I rebranded. But my idea all along was start with a niche market and try and build a subscriber base and see where we go from there. And it got to a point where people were asking, can you just talk about movie stuff? We know you love Disney, but and I was dropping bits and pieces here and there where people were picking up that I just wanted to talk about movies and my love for cinema. And a lot of my subscribers started asking, can you just talk about just general movies? I'd love to hear your thoughts on Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or whatever, or your love for classic cinema. And so at that moment I thought, this is the right time to do the rebrand. 2,500 subscribers was, it's a decent backbone, and it's not at a point where maybe, you get to 10,000 and a rebrand is maybe really risky. So it was really at that teeter point where I went, okay, so I've got a decent backbone, but if it fails, then, it's been a bit of an experiment. But since the rebrand, it's taken off. I'm up to 11,200 something subscribers now in 6 months since I rebranded, maybe a bit longer, maybe 8 months or so.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty successful rebrand, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been following you for probably just before, maybe just around the time that The Last Jedi came out. That's how I found you.
Yep.
The rebrand, the boom. But what does Ben on call it when a video pops?
Pops, yeah.
What was the video that popped for you? Was it The Last Jedi video that went bananas?
That was one. That was the first video where I'd really got like a substantial amount of views. Prior to that, I did a trailer reaction for Thor Ragnarok, which hit 30,000 views, which was like, oh my lord, what has just happened? It was like 11 p.m. The trailer dropped out of nowhere. There was no... What they do now, they announce the trailer 2 days before the trailer. They give you a trailer for the trailer. This thing come out of nowhere. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to put together a reaction, put it online. Woke up in the morning, it had like 6,000 hits. And then throughout the day, it was just like 30,000 hits.
Yeah.
But that was crazy. That was like my first experience of a video just going crazy.
Banana.
But I did a series of videos on The Last Jedi, one of which got up to 500,000 hits, which was the first like real big one after that. And I think between those two videos, I made quite a decent number of subscribers. And I think those are the two videos I would say popped, I guess, were the ones where everything started actually moving.
Yeah, I reckon you had like 3,000 or 4,000 subs when I first found you, and it seemed like every week from there on in, you were doing a like 5,000 subs, 6,000 subs. Hey, I missed 7,000. It's 8,000 subs now. It was just like, I was just sitting there like, congrats, Dave.
It happened pretty quickly. Yeah,
it absolutely boomed. And so what are you up to now? 11,000?
It's like 11,000. I think I crossed 11,250 today. So I hit 11,000 like 3 days ago. So I've had another video that's
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, and so since your little population boom, you've started a Patreon account.
I have started a Patreon. Yeah.
And how's that working out for you? All right.
It's going okay. I've got maybe like, I think I had 9. Maybe I'm down to 7 now. But I'm making a little bit of money out of it, and it's okay. I mean that's just funds that I'll throw back into the channel.
Cool.
To put towards gear or whatever else. I've told my Patreons that it's not something that I'm using to fund all the crazy crap on the wall. It's just another thing where I can go, put some funds towards some stuff that's going to help the channel. And my first purchase was actually a bunch of business cards.
Awesome.
Let's see.
Which I did. I guess,
fancy.
like networking cards, as I'm calling them, because you go places like you go to like a film screening or something, and there's people there you're talking to, and they want your information. You go, oh, I don't have anything on me, so that helps out. So it's just little bits and pieces that I can, the supporters can help me, chip into and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going pretty well, and I think people are enjoying, I guess, the exclusive content and stuff. So yeah, it's going alright.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm glad it's going well for you. I just want to dig back into a little bit. I saw one of your interviews with Russell Crowe once upon a time. That was absolutely insane. Talk us through that.
Okay, so the Russell Crowe interview was for The Water Diviner, which was like an Australian war biopic film that he did. That was through, from memory, that was Warner Brothers? I think it was a Warner Brothers thing. Or it might have been Universal. I'm not sure. One of them. But it was a while ago. And it was just after I'd finished my TV series. And I was on quite a few media lists through the TV series. And I remained on a few of them after I finished. And that was one where they sent a thing through going, there's going to be a premiere of The Water Diviner. We'd like to have you along. Russell Crowe will be on the red carpet, whatever. You can apply for media accreditation to do an interview. Oh, hell yeah, Russell Crowe. At that point, we through the TV show, we did some interviews with some local celebrities, but Russell Crowe was kind of the biggest one that I was like, yes, I have to. So I think I was working I was doing a little bit of freelance work for a online magazine at the time. So that was I sort of went through on the back of that. I said, I'm working for these guys, so we'll just put the video up on their YouTube account. So I quickly made a YouTube account for the channel, for the magazine, and so I got an interview with Russell Crowe on the red carpet, which was it was insane.
That's so
Absolutely
cool.
insane.
So a little bit sneaky.
Oh yeah. So you've been to a few premieres. You're at Jurassic World premiere the other week. Is that purely based because of your YouTube channel, or is that because of your contacts?
It's a lot of it's on the back of the YouTube channel now. So what the studios or the distributors will do is they will do an audit maybe every year or every couple of years, and if you're not actively producing reviews for them, or you are no longer working for something in the media that is getting decent views, they'll drop you off the list. So when I left the TV show, and it was like a couple of years after we'd done the TV show, I started dropping off a lot of lists. And as I said, Disney was really the only one that followed through with me the whole way, because I have a fairly decent relationship with the people over there. So getting back into YouTube and doing my movie reviews, it was then a struggle to get back on the lists. And over the last few months, I've managed to get on most of the major lists. So that was based purely on my YouTube stuff. A lot of the distributors will only put you on the list if you've got over a certain amount of subscribers. I think some of them is like maybe 5,000 subscribers, and they'll consider putting you on the list. But I think a lot of my experience doing the show for Channel 31, as well as the subscriber base I have on YouTube at the moment, certainly has helped to get on those lists. And once you're on the list, as long as you're actively producing stuff for them, you'll stay on the list. And they'll send an email out whenever there is a movie coming out, and they'll say, you get the email, it'll be RSVP now to the premiere of Jurassic World. You've got to get in really quick for some of them. And you're on the list. So, that's how that all works, cool. I suppose.
That's so cool. I've got to ask you, I've been busting to ask this question. With you do a lot of those Marvel post-scene credits that are super popular. Yeah. Are you sitting in the studio writing down notes about that stuff, or is it you watch the scene and then you think about what you're gonna write down?
It's a bit of both. I'll sit there with a notepad. This is my newest one that I take all my notes down, and I will I can probably show you. Let's see what's in here. This is my notes for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, cool.
So I will sit there, make sure there's no spoilers there. So I'll sit there, I'll take notes throughout the entire movie, anything that I think will be relevant for my review for my post-credit scenes video, and I think so. Just random little notes. So anything that I think will help me in any video that I'm going to do, on that one film. So then here's one. It's basically like post-credit scene 1, and I'll just take some very basic notes on the post-credit scene, and then whatever's in my internal memory, and then whoever's there with me has also obviously seen it and can help me if I've forgotten anything, and then I will come home and immediately write everything down. Sometimes, if I go with someone who's driving, I will sit there with my laptop in the car and write my review, because a lot of the time you've got to get it. Not a lot of the time, all the time, you have to get your video up before anyone else. And it's like a race against the clock, or else you're not going to get the views. And it's with these post-credit scenes especially, you take the notes, you get home. The first one I did was the Infinity War one, which is a video that blew up to like 1 million views, which is insane. And that was one I got home. The preview screening for that was 2 nights before it opened in Australia, which was like 3 or 4 nights before it opened in America. I think it was the first preview screening in the world other than the premiere in LA. So a lot of the times when we go to these premieres, the embargo has already lifted, so people over in the States have already uploaded all their movie reviews and whatever. So you're a little bit late to the punch. So with Infinity War, the lucky thing was embargo hadn't opened yet for like an hour or 2 after our screening finished. And we were the only country in the world, other than America, who'd had a preview. So I got home, I thought, I'm going to just spend all night doing these videos. I was up until like 5:30 a.m., did my review, then I did the post-credit scene, and it just like blew up. So yeah, you really got to be on the ball. So it's a combination of writing stuff in a notebook, stuff in your head, and just getting home and just doing it as quickly as possible.
Right. I've seen. Sorry, mate. I was just going to say I've seen your stuff pop up on websites and stuff. It's insane. Like I'm like, hey, it's Dave.
Really?
Oh, sweet.
So go on, Danny.
I have some questions about some reviews of yours. Like I haven't watched all of them. I don't go to the movies a lot, and that's because I do a lot of international flights, and I save all of my movie watching experience for all that. So it just, you can just get through it. What'd you think of the Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I loved Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
I thought it was a lot of fun. The best thing about it was it shows just how well Marvel have planned out their movies. We've come off the back of Infinity War, which everyone walked out of the cinema with.
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen Infinity War. Isn't that crazy? I
won't spoil anything, but be prepared. And Ant-Man and the Wasp was like a breath of fresh air coming out, and that's what I loved about it. Yeah.
What about I did see the latest Jurassic World, and what did you think of that one? Oh no.
I was not a big fan. I was not a fan of Jurassic World. I've been a fan of Jurassic Park for as long as I can remember, and it just didn't feel like the older movies. The way I put in my review is that the old movies are not movies about dinosaurs. They're movies about people and about humanity and what happens when people start meddling with or start playing God, I suppose. And I felt like the new movie was a movie about dinosaurs, and it lost the backbone, that humanity, And I thought it was a really beautifully crafted movie, and I just loved the whole horror aspect of it, but to me it didn't feel like Jurassic Park.
It was pretty terrifying. There's a lot of scenes where I was just like, this is way more intense than I was expecting. Like when they're in that cargo spot with a T-Rex, I was like, what's gonna happen, but then oh man, you're just like,
dude.
It's
how's this? I was in Hawaii when Jurassic World came out, and we were at the ranch where they film, and we're cruising through on the like the little warthog thing I called it. We're cruising through, and there's like 2 directors' chairs to our right, and he stops, picks up the chairs, and he's like, "Oh, we interviewed Chris Pratt in this chair just yesterday. He was here just yesterday."
Oh my God.
I was just like, "Oh man!" And then I was like, "He's probably just pulling our leg." And then I got back to the hotel and I was flicking through Facebook, and the interview was on Facebook in that exact spot. And I was just like, he's not pulling my leg.
Always the way.
My sister was just like, My sister was just like, I'm going to meet Chris Pratt. I'm going to ask him to marry me. She was like, just a chance.
Always the way. Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. All right. I was going to ask, you've had a lot of haters on some of your videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, talk me through some of the absolute hardcore hate that you have had on some of your Star Wars videos.
The Star Wars videos. Oh, my Lord. The Star Wars fans. Hang on a second. Whoops. I just pressed something and my computer went funny. I'm still here?
Yep.
Yep, okay. The Star Wars fans. I've been very vocal about my thoughts on the Star Wars fan base, and I feel like at the moment it's like split. It's like so divisive at the moment. And I know even saying that, I'm going to have people jumping down my throat saying, stop fueling the fire by saying it's a divided fan base. It is. And there are the people who really, really love the movies, and there are the people who just hate it to the extent that they're going to send death threats on YouTube to some guy they've never met in their life, or they're going to send death threats to the creator or the actors. So I've done quite a number of videos on Star Wars where I guess in some sense I'm poking the bear a little bit, but I feel like I have to have my say on it as someone who has loved the franchise practically since I was 8 years old and still love the franchise and still love the new movies. And I feel like these people that just hate the movie so much they're so vocal that they try to squash anybody that tries to have their say. So you go into doing something like that expecting to get a lot of hate and expecting to get a lot of trolls, and you have to be able to deal with it. So you have to have the mindset where you can deal with it. So it's not something that's taken me by surprise. It's something where I've gone into it fully well knowing that I'm going to have a lot of people jump down my throat. But then on the other hand, I'm also going to have a lot of people who are going to be happy that I've said what I've said. So I did one video which was called How Star Wars Fans Killed Star Wars, which was probably, I guess that was a big step for me because it was like a really controversial video and I'd strayed away from doing controversial stuff until that point. But I had a fairly decent response to that. And that I went and did another one which was about, did the Star Wars fans kill Han Solo, which was like a follow-up thing. But yeah, good. a lot of hate, but you expect it, and I fully went into it expecting.
It's almost like you're getting into religion or politics when you're talking about Star Wars because people take that so seriously. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I left a comment, Dave, and on one of your videos, and got a lot of
I
remember
that. You left a death threat. Is that what
yeah, I remember that. I remember seeing that one. Oh my!
Yeah.
I
was attacked.
Oh yeah, it's anyone who comments on any of those videos will get attacked. It's not just me. These people are coming in here and just attacking anyone, and I try to moderate my comments as best as possible. But sometimes things slip through the cracks, and you see it later, and you go, "Oh, I don't like that being there." I will most of the time leave any comment that's on there, but sometimes someone will step so far over the line where you go, I don't want this on my video. Where you just I can't have that there.
Yeah. There's no place for that on your channel. Yeah.
No. At some point, it gets to the point where you can't. You can only moderate it to a certain extent. So I can leave a lot of stuff on there, and a lot of the time I do leave the stuff on there so other people can see just how stupid some of these people are being.
I do the same.
Stupid things these people are saying, and occasionally I will pin one of the comments to the top of the video, just so people can just see how just ridiculous it is. And a lot of these videos I'm making statements on my thoughts on the state of the fan base, and you'll get that one comment that comes through, and you go. You think you are the person I'm talking about in this video, and you just exemplify everything I'm saying. Pin it to the top, and then you just watch it unfold. But yeah, it gets to the point where I have fun with it. I do have fun with it, but it does get to that point where you're like, okay, this is too far. That's got to go. And I will, if a follower or a subscriber or a viewer in the comment section is getting attacked, I will step in and I will say, that's enough of that. I've blocked a lot of people. I've blocked a lot of people. And I don't like doing that because I think everyone should have free speech, have a free voice. But it does get to a point where I can handle getting attacked myself, but if you start attacking other people and you keep doing it when you've been asked not to do it, see you later. Been blocked. And there's a list of a whole lot of people who have been. But, that's the internet, isn't it? That's the internet.
But on the positive note, you also have some extremely hardcore fans of yourself, Dave. This guy right here has a mail time segment that rivals Casey Neistat at times.
No way.
Talk us through your mail time and how you got that started.
I wouldn't quite say it rivals Casey Neistat. Most of the stuff that I get is bought by myself, for myself. But you do occasionally get people send things in, and I am never the kind of person who will ask people for something. I never like to ask. Even like doing a Patreon was like a big leap. I just don't like asking for things. But I had so many people at one point saying, I have something to send you, where can I send it? And you say, look, I'm not accepting anything at the moment. I just felt very uncomfortable doing that. But people would come back and go, have you got somewhere for me to send something yet? Have you got, a month later, have you got an address? Okay. So I started looking into it, and PO boxes are very expensive. And it just so happened that Australia Post had just started this parcel locker initiative where it's free parcel lockers. It basically works the same as a PO box, but it's free. And you don't have to pay for anything. You just got to go down to the parcel locker. They hold stuff there for you for like 3 days before it goes back to the post office. And sweet. It just seemed like the best thing to do. And if anyone did want to send something in, at least there's an address. It's a private address. It's not people sending stuff to my house. I can just go down to the parcel locker and pick stuff up. Cool. So I guess that's how that sort of started out. And every now and then I will get subscriber mail come in from people who send me some stuff, and it's always I love getting the stuff. It's always appreciated. People drawing pictures and people just sending in DVDs that they don't want. I've had people buy me stuff from a JB Hi-Fi sale. People put together little art projects, and it's really nice. A really nice way to connect with people. Again, I never like asking for stuff, but if people do, want to send something in and show their appreciation for my content, I love that. I think it's wonderful. Yeah,
it's so great. I mean, the first time I found your channel, a lot of people, no one will know this except for me and Dave. We actually grew up in the same suburb, didn't know each other.
Yep.
Absolutely insane. I remember
you're mates with one of my best mates, actually.
Which is insane. But I remember seeing you vlogging outside where the post box is, and I'm like, that looks familiar. And then I saw you vlogging elsewhere, and I'm like, okay, this guy lives in the same suburb as me.
That's
absolutely insane. All right, we are every time we have a creator on, we've started to ask a set bunch of questions, so we'll shoot through those quickly before we take off. Who were your inspirations on YouTube? Did you have any, or was it just the fact that you just loved filmmaking so much?
It's a little bit of both. I've always loved filmmaking. I've always wanted to get into filmmaking. I've always wanted to just do anything that I can when it comes to films and talking about film or being involved in filmmaking. But I would have to say, we mentioned him before, Casey Neistat was a very, very big influence on me jump-starting this YouTube channel. And I guess I'd started Disney Dave before I really became familiar with Casey's work. But after I saw his work, and he's got a lot of inspirational videos on there about, what you need to do to succeed. And there's a lot of videos, he's like Q&A videos, people asking him how to get started on YouTube. It was then, I guess I'd never really seen YouTube as a place other than somewhere you can go and find funny cat videos or something like that.
Yeah.
But once I got onto Casey's work, I thought, oh, this is serious business. And seeing what he's done with his channel and other creators like him is wow, this is a whole different world. And it's just embracing the platform as a legitimate way to make something out of a career, or just to be able to share your passion or whatever. So I'd say Casey Neistat would be my number one influence, and there's a lot of stuff that he's said in his vlogs along the way that I guess I followed, and got results from. So when you hear people talking about, if you listen to Casey's stuff, you follow some of his, his rules and his lessons, they will definitely pay off if you do it right. And I would say number one, I put him at the top.
Yeah.
Most people do.
I swear everyone will say Casey Neistat. Like, it's almost like, do you remember your first Casey Neistat vlog?
And I think, like, he's obviously a vlogger, and I do very minimal vlogging stuff. I'll do, like, a vlog every now and then. So even as someone who doesn't necessarily want to do the same kind of videos as he does, I think he's just very influential as someone who's made a living off this, I guess, new media. And it's just a complete eye-opener.
That is that is it. Yeah.
All right. So the next quickfire question is, does your family like your YouTube channel? Or does your channel, does your family enjoy it? Yeah.
Yeah. They're all very supportive. I have... my parents are very supportive, of course. My girlfriend's not as big of a movie lover as I am, but she enjoys what I do, and she'll watch my videos and she'll help me make my videos whenever I need a hand. And they all love what I do, and they're all very supportive of what I'm doing. Extended family, uncles and aunties and whatever, cousins, they're all watching my stuff, and it's great. It's great when you get the support, especially when it comes from people who wouldn't necessarily watch the kind of thing you're doing or wouldn't necessarily like the thing you're doing, but watch it and enjoy it and always happy to help out. And it's great. It's great, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen your dad pop up a few times in a few of your JB hauls.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to share the same passion as you do.
Yeah, so I guess it's sort of one of the places I got my passion for movies from, I suppose, my old man. So we'll do a JB Hi-Fi trip together every now and then, and we'll vlog it, and it's a lot of fun.
Just tell the Creator Cast Nation, how many Blu-ray DVDs do you own?
I think we're very close to... our collection in total, Blu-rays, DVDs, is about to cross 5,000. I think there's maybe 3,500 Blu-rays in that, but that's just off the top of my head. So
where do you store all that?
Out in the lounge room, we've got wall to floor cabinets. We've got 4 or 5 cabinets full of Blu-rays, and now they're all just kind of piling up in the corner of the room because we've got no more room for them. So we don't know what we're gonna do, but they're all out there.
That's insane. All right, next question is, what is your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle? I guess with any creator, it's creating content constantly. And the biggest lesson I learned from Casey Neistat was you have to show up every single day. And if you can't show up every single day, then at least make an effort to show up once a week, or you have to have like this regular routine where you're constantly uploading stuff to show people that you're serious about what you're doing, and to keep, not only to get subscribers, but to keep the subscribers is the most important thing. And the struggle sometimes can be, you go, I need to have a video up because I haven't had a video up. When I first started, I was doing daily vlogging, and that was insane. And I'm doing maybe at most like 3, maybe 4 videos a week now. And some weeks you go, what on earth am I going to do this week? Some weeks you'll have a premiere for Jurassic World, and then that sets you up for the whole week. You do the Jurassic World review, you do the post-credits, you do the ending explained, you do whatever. So you've got like a full-on week. And that's a struggle too, getting through that stuff. It's like 2-3 days full-on, like from 8 a.m. till 9-10 p.m. just editing, writing stuff. And after that, you're burnt out for a couple of days after just spending so long But then there's the weeks where you wake up and you go, I have nothing. What am I supposed to do this week? And you kind of fly by the seat of your pants, This week, I put a video up today. It's my first video in 5 days because I didn't have anything this week. But I was just lucky that the last video I did had a fairly decent reception and got me a fair decent amount of subscribers, and I guess it's tied me over until the next one. But that's the struggle. It's just making more and more content and keeping it relevant, making stuff people want to watch. I guess that's the hard bit.
Hey, next time,
making stuff people want to watch.
Next time you have a block, can you do a review of your reviews, like your old reviews, and like watch them, like make fun of them, and
it's
like
a possibility. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I've gone back to some of the early stuff, and oh my lord, yeah. Pretty cringy stuff on there.
Where do you see the future of your channel going?
I would. At the moment, I'm going with the flow. As I said, my passion is in making content and in films and talking about movies, talking about films, making movies about movies, and I'm happy to go with the flow. And if this turns into something bigger than what it is, then that's awesome. If this turns into something I can make a living out of, I mean, that would be amazing. Obviously, there's a long way to go to get to that point. But at the moment, I'm really happy with how I'm traveling and how I'm moving, and I'm happy to, see where it goes. So in the long run, I'd love to see it become something that I could, make a living out of. But in the meantime, I'm really loving doing it and loving the response and loving the community, and it's just all a lot of fun. It might be a struggle at times, but I love every bit of it. I love every single bit.
Yeah, that's awesome, Dave. Last one. Any channels, big or small, that you want to give a shout out to?
Any channels, big or small. There's a couple of guys over in the UK, and they do the same kind of stuff that I do: Blu-ray hunts, Blu-ray vlogs, stuff like that. They've only started recently, and I love their stuff, and they're part of my community as well. One guy, Kermit's Ghost. His name's Alan. He's an awesome guy, and he helps me source Blu-rays and stuff from over that side of the pond whenever I need it. Another guy called Big Paulie, he's just a whole lot of fun. He's this really great, just really English guy, and I love him. And of course, I love your channel, where you go and you go through the abandoned buildings and stuff.
Thank
and
you.
I do keep up with that and watch your stuff, and it's nothing that I would ever do, but I love it.
I don't know how I do it at times, to be honest.
No, it's all great. So those two guys, they've been very helpful and just really wonderful people to me as well. And get on them if you love like movie stuff and Blu-ray huntings and movie reviews. Check out those two guys because they're a lot of fun.
I'll definitely check that out. All right, well, just before we wrap it up, where can we find you on social media? Do you want to give your socials a bit of a plug?
I'm on Facebook, of course, Dave Lee Down Under. I'm on Twitter, which is like Dav Lee 1991. I'm on Instagram at Dave Lee 1991. Someone stole Dav Lee 1991 somehow. And where else am I? I think that's it. They're the main ones. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Yeah, so I'm on all there. But if you search Dave Lee Down Under, I'll come up on everything. Yeah.
Beautiful. We'll put all the links down below in the information. Cool. As for us, Danny, take it over. You know all the information about our group. I'll let you spiel about that.
Oh yeah. I guess we'll say goodbye to Dave Lee, and he's gonna cover up his camera, and then we'll have a little wrap up session. So, see you, Dave Lee.
Bye. See you later.
Thanks for being on here. That's awesome.
I loved it. Good fun.
Can't wait to check out more. So
thanks
that's
so much.
yeah.
See you later.
So there he is. There he's looking for the camera.
There he is.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Scotty, for bringing him into this. I think that's awesome, and it's always cool to see some up and coming Australian YouTubers, and I love what he's doing. Like, I think that's really interesting. Actually, Dave, come back really quick. I have one more question for you.
I'm here. Yes.
I was gonna ask this. I think this would be important for like the smaller YouTubers that maybe have that same kind of passion as you for what you're doing. Is there any advice you would give them?
Be yourself. Stay true to yourself. That's like the number one thing, because people are going to show up for you. It's not always going to be about the content. It's going to be having someone there who I guess they relate to or whatever. And you just be yourself, and people will fall in love with that and start following you and whatever. And again, to go by Casey's rule, especially when you're starting up, you need to be on the ball like nearly every day. And I know not everyone can do daily vlogging, and I'm at a point now where I can't do that, especially with I'm making sort of the content that I'm doing takes more than a day to put together. for the most part. But constant videos. I mean, you need to be putting up 2-3 videos a week.
Yeah.
To again prove that you are serious, that you are there to help. The more videos you make, the more you refine your craft. I look back at my early videos and
very true.
It's just the worst. So the more you make, the more you refine yourself, and the more people will not only subscribe, but stay subscribed to your channel. That's the most important part.
That's great.
Not just getting subscribers, but keeping them and proving to them that I'm here, I'm making this content on a regular basis, and I'll keep coming back. I read something which was like, it takes like 30 days to form a habit, and once someone's like formed a habit to your channel, they'll be back every day, or at the regular periods that you're going to be making content. So be yourself, keep making content, and then it'll all happen from there. And stay topical. Don't make like an unboxing video of a Blu-ray that came out 10 years ago. Stay topical. And like I said, I go to the
actually
movie,
that would be kind of a cool channel, by the way. Like if you take things
I've
from
seen
10 years ago.
I mean, when you get to a point where you've got a certain amount of subscribers, you can go back and do that. I've seen some of the bigger like Blu-ray channels and stuff go back and do unboxings of old stuff, or the bigger movie review channels go back and review older movies. But when you're getting started, that's not really what you want to do, because people aren't searching for that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're like a Chris Stuckman or Jeremy Jahns, you've got 1 million subscribers, you can go and review a movie that's like 20 or 30 years old.
Because people just want to hear what your point of view is,
Yeah, even at the point where, exactly. People will watch that because they want to see your opinion on that movie. But even at my point, I couldn't make a movie review for a 30-year-old movie and expect people to watch it, because then you'd be relying on people searching for that, and they're just not looking for it. So stay topical. That's the main thing.
Good advice. Great advice. All right, we'll say bye to you again. And
see you later. Bye-bye.
Good. I was glad I got that question in there, but I'll let you wrap up the show. But I was just going to say, everybody, if you come over to our group on Facebook, we have this excellent, awesome group that we're growing, facebook.com/group/creatorcast. You can also check it down in the description, where I'm doing some giveaways on that as well. So we'll do some retreats later on. It's just the best way to get connected, especially if you're in Australia. And if you're not in Australia, that's cool too. There you go. Scott, you wrap it up.
Yeah. Oh, and if you are in Australia and you're going to be at VidCon, we are going to be there. We have something planned. You've probably talked about, you've probably heard us talking about that. We will be having live streams and stuff going on throughout the day. So keep up to date. Jump on the group. We'll be posting in there. I cannot wait. Again, thank you very much, Danny Black. That was really awesome.
Great. I'm pumped. Yeah, let's do it. Let's get creating.
All right.
Well, see ya.
We'll see you guys on the next episode.